Right, it's Mike at Bloodstock 2015. Introduce yourself, fella.
Hello there. Archaon, 1349.
Cool. I managed to get out from doing some interviews and actually see some of your set just now, and it looked like you were having so much fun on stage.
Oh,
and the crowd were going off for it. How was it?
It felt good.
Yeah?
I mean, from start to finish, it felt like we were in quite control of the whole show. You know, like usually you have small things such as guitar string breaks, drumstick, things that occasionally happens. There's none. It was just a smooth run.
Cool. The sun was out.
The crowd was fantastic. The sun was out. The crowd was great. That was the main thing is when you got that kind of living entity in front of you, you get kind of boosted yourself. You know, it gets wilder and wilder, and they get wild, you get wild, and it's fun to play. The interaction thing going on.
Yeah. Because I was literally just stood right at the back having a bit of a feeding session, and the fists were pumping. And it was just
amazing. It was
everything come together. Are you finding that you're getting a good response everywhere this summer? I think because it's like you've got new material, and there's there's a resurgence on you guys.
Not every time. Like we played with Force in Germany.
Okay.
The festival has been getting a bit smaller than the last time I remember we played it. We played it twice before, but for some reason, I mean, the environment of music changes, etc. So I guess more like the metal core kind of things going on there. Yeah. So you can see it in the proportions of the festival as well.
I guess pandering to the most popular stars of music to get the ticket sales through, but also supplying people with the bands like yourself that are more niche kind of market, I guess.
It changes somehow. I mean, considering the fact that we were used to seeing somewhat grandiose version of extreme metal just years back in time.
Yeah,
that was not the case with Force this year. So it was a weird experience. I don't know the cause of the effect, but still it was good to come here now. It's like amazing. In Norway, we got the same thing. We got huge crowds for this kind of style. US as well is great. Awesome. We toured a lot in US later years. It's been great. I mean, so somehow tutorial reasons for things changing you cannot foresee really. It's just sometimes
some things are popular and it ebbs and flows, doesn't it? Every musical style is the same, I guess. It's not just rock and metal. There's some things will be at a peak, and then it gives people to regroup and see how they want to move forwards, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of thing.
I can't remember who it was, but one of your guys from your band was here last year, kind of announcing that you're going to be coming back.
Yeah, Sidewinder basically. He was there for just like a promotional thing.
I spoke to him.
Did some interviews. I think he had like 14 interviews.
Yeah, I was one of them, and he was saying that you really
had a new album out, so it's natural to kind of travel to do things, and he did that, and there was a huge interest.
Very much so. The video we did with him got a hell of a lot of views, and then like I said, the album's out. How's it been perceived so far then? Are you finding there's fan favourites as well?
Oh yeah, you can definitely see what happens when we play new stuff. It's like it's a shift almost sometimes in the new material. It's great. Some of the old material too has got that, but that's very distinct pieces,
It's the legacy tracks, isn't it?
As far as it goes, that does not exist really in extreme metal, but you can kind of draw the parallels to songs that works better, like openers and the singles and whatever.
Your mid-set kind of get everyone going again, that kind of stuff.
And the new album seems like there's much more of that. So it's funny. It's good experience.
Was that something you planned to do, that kind of thing, or it just happened by fluke, kind of?
No, the only thing that kind of was in the back of my mind when I wrote the album was that to concentrate a bit more, to have the power in a more trashy way. We've spoken about that in the band, to try to get a bit more trashy if contemporary approach. I mean, we are playing black metal. Yeah, that's what we do.
We're giving it a bigger sound to it.
So we don't want to kind of do something that's outside of what feels righteous to do in black metal.
No, that's fair enough.
But thrash has always been a part of our ingredient,
Well, historically, thrash has been part of black metal.
I mean, who doesn't? Every metal band has to look back and kind of see, to be able to draw the parallel. Back to the 80s and the 70s. I mean, there's been a lot of things that still. I think the basic still lies somewhere in the 80s and 70s.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah,
the essence of the
Yeah.
metal that we all like today is still there.
Where it just found its feet, and then there were bands coming through that were taking the original sound, developing it, and that became the overall sound.
In a way, yeah, you modify it, and the new ingredients are brought in, but still, it's like you owe to pay some kind of respect to the bands from back in the day, and the new album, Massive Cauldron of Chaos, is much more a tribute to all the 70s
all those legacy
like,
and heritage type bands. It's ideal though. What's the plans for the rest of the year? Are you going out on tour? Are you going to come back to the UK at all?
Yeah, well, we hope so.
Cool.
I mean, we were planning to do we did a European tour in November last year.
Yeah.
We hope to do more this year.
That'd be cool.
So we'll see what comes up there.
I guess
Then
just
we
keep an eye
will
out.
keep on writing new material, trying to get ready for a new album.
Okay.
That is definitely a part of the plan.
Awesome. So just carry on doing what you're doing basically then. It's like writing and touring. And
This year's been a lot of US.
Okay.
You know, because most metal bands in our category try to kind of, I think most of them try to build in Europe.
Yeah.
It's very few that we meet when we tour in the US, a band on our level.
Yeah.
Because you know, as you might know, 34.9 is not like the biggest.
The scene's definitely bigger in Europe, isn't it?
Like this. At the same time as we've been going a long time, so we're well known.
Of course, yeah.
And from there on to kind of try to build, it's a challenge that has to be constant. You know,
Yeah,
you have to work.
Especially somewhere as big as America, you have to be there a lot to get the name across.
To build there is an
yeah.
extra challenge compared to Europe.
Yeah.
Europe is more like the standard smooth run for a lot of agents and the whole music industry that we're all faced with.
And everything, but yeah, America is
record booking and everything. They all have the same. But in the US, then you're on a bit more unknown, untread territory, and you have to kind of.
You've got to know where to go. There's pockets of fan bases everywhere, I guess.
Well, you have to know what you're doing, basically, or at least try to investigate and try to make the best out of it. And I believe we've done that, but you know, it lays down a lot of work there.
That's good. It means you can go back and just keep building and building.
We toured with in February. We did a month tour. In June, we did a month tour. We did the 70,000 tons of metal thing in January.
That looks insane.
Bolts. Play a show down. Play a show up. Did a tour with Origin in February.
Okay.
A tour with Necrophagia and several others. Both the tours in June. And it was good.
Cool.
It's good. I mean, US is definitely a place where we now can kind of. We have a great apparatus working for us there, so we can go there and tour, and we basically have to try to build in Europe the same thing now because we've been there a lot. So
okay, yeah. So you're just going, just keep putting away and building and.
I think that's the only thing that we've done pretty differently than a lot of the metal bands in our category. Yeah. We try to kind of like. Work it the opposite way a bit.
Yeah, I get where you come from. It's cool.
It's cool. I mean, we have good crowds on both ends, and tonight was great.
Yeah.
Or today it was amazing.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure catching up with you and like just finding out how the band works. Basically, it's been really fascinating. Thanks very much, man.
We've been also a lot about beers lately.
Okay.
We met this brewery in the US.
Yeah.
That brewed our beer. We got a Norwegian brewery on board, so they should be available here soon.
Ideal. What, just bottle beer?
Well, not just one beer. It's not your average type of band beer because we met up with. Long story short, we met up with a US brewery back in 2010 when we did a co-headlining tour at Triptychon.
Right. Okay.
The guy that came up to us and pointed out that we were drinking, that we were picky on our beers, as he said, was a headmaster brewer of. Famous brewery in the US. So we instantly got in touch in 2010 and we have developed a beer since 2010.
Oh, it's just like 5 years in the making.
Yeah, so nice. It was released early this year and the Pale Ale, the second beer that we did, was now in last month.
Oh, okay. And that'll be hitting the UK as well soon.
Yeah. Cool. It'll be very soon there.
We'll keep an eye out in the shops for that one then.
Cool thing. I mean, if you like beer, yeah, sure.
We'll check it out. That'd be cool. Thanks very much for taking some time out, man. That was cool. Thank you.